color in court. You know, we've always said what it says is that the district attorney should look long and hard.
The courtroom doors slammed shut, and inside, a moment of history was unfolding. A$AP Rocky, standing tall and composed, had just been cleared of all charges that could have seen him spend the next 24 years behind bars. But this wasn't just about a celebrity escaping prison. This was about much more, a legal battle that shook the hip-hop community, an unexpected plot twist, and the emotional aftermath of one of the most high-stakes trials in recent memory. But what was it really like? What happened behind those courtroom doors? And how did Rihanna's joy and emotional reaction become just as important as the verdict itself? It all started in 2021, under a dark cloud that quickly overshadowed the glitzy lifestyle of A$AP Rocky. Tyrell Efron, a former member of Rocky's inner circle,
Prosecuting Tyrell Efron. We've said that from day one. They should do it now. They have him admitting to perjury.
Had accused him of something shocking, something that could have destroyed his career and his freedom. The accusation was serious. Rocky, he claimed, had pulled a gun and fired twice during a heated argument. The incident allegedly left Efron with injuries to his hand. From the start, this didn't seem right. A$AP Rocky, always known for his cool, calculated persona, wasn't the type to pull a gun during an argument. Yet here he was, facing trial for something that seemed, at the very least, like a mess of contradictions. But Efron wasn't the only one telling a story. Rocky's defense, led by Joe Tacopina, quickly pointed out a glaring issue: no physical evidence. There was no shell casings found at the scene. No bullet holes, not even any blood. In fact, when police scoured the alleged crime
Have him committing extortion, the jury saw through it and came to an enormously quick and speedy verdict, the right verdict, and we thank this jury.
Scene, they found absolutely nothing that suggested a shooting had taken place. This wasn't just a case of shaky testimony, it was a case built on nothing more than words. And soon enough, even Efron's own credibility would be called into question. It wasn't long before the first cracks in Efron's story started to show. 2 days after the alleged incident, Efron showed up with shell casings he claimed to have found on his own. A red flag for anyone paying attention, and it wasn't just the timing, it was the fact that no one could even confirm if these casings were from the night of the incident. As the trial wore on, a disturbing pattern emerged. Efron's story kept changing. Every time he retold it, there were new details, new inconsistencies. The jury was starting to question everything, and even the prosecution could no longer ignore the lack of physical evidence tying Rocky to the scene. Then came the turning point. Forensic experts came forward to confirm what many had suspected: there was no proof linking Rocky to any fired gun. The prosecution's case had crumbled. As the final verdict drew near, the tension in the courtroom was palpable. Everyone was on edge, but the truth was clear: there was no case here. And when the jury came back with a not guilty
And again, for me, my partner Chad, we're honored to have represented this amazing family.
Verdict, it wasn't just Rocky's freedom that was at stake. It was the very fabric of the story the prosecution had tried to weave. But this wasn't just about legal victory. As the judge announced the verdict, a wave of relief washed over A$AP Rocky, his defense team, and those who had supported him. Yet, there was someone else whose emotions were running even higher than his own: Rihanna. The world had seen Rihanna in many ways, on stage, in the spotlight, with her unmatched grace and poise. But in that moment, in that courtroom, we saw her like never before, a woman overcome with emotion, tears streaming down her face as she witnessed her partner's triumph. This wasn't just a legal win. It was a personal victory, a culmination of months of waiting, uncertainty, and love. Rihanna, often seen as one of the most composed and mysterious figures in the celebrity world, was now unguarded.
Rocky is one of my closest friends, but he's also just a great, great person. Rihanna, they are
vulnerable in a way few had ever witnessed. Fans flooded social media with reactions, many of them expressing awe at Rihanna's raw, genuine emotions. To them, this wasn't just about Rocky being free. It was about seeing two people in love standing strong against the odds. Together. But beyond the love, there was something deeper, something that hinted at what was next for Rocky. The emotional moment spoke volumes. In that instant, the world saw just how important this trial was, not only for Rocky's career but for his personal life. His story, now free from the shadows of this legal nightmare, was about to take a new turn. For A$AP Rocky, the next steps were clear. He had fought a battle not just against the law, but against the very perception of who he was. A$AP had spent months living in limbo, with the looming threat of a prison sentence hanging over his head. This trial had taken up much of his mental and emotional energy. But now, with his freedom restored, the question was, what next? His legal victory wasn't just about freedom, it was about reclaiming his career. The rap game had long been defined by legal battles and controversies, but a conviction here could have been career.
They are seriously the greatest people, and I said I love them, and I really do.
Now, freed from the weight of the trial, A$AP Rocky could focus on what he did best, making music, and that's exactly what fans were hoping for. With his trial behind him, speculation began to swirl. Was Rocky going to release a new album? Was he about to drop some of the material he had worked on during his time away from the spotlight? Everyone was eager to see what he would create next, and with this victory, the possibilities seemed endless. But there was one question that wouldn't go away. Why did Tyrell Efron, a former ally and member of Rocky's crew, turn on him in the first place? Some speculated that it was about money, others said it was personal. The truth, as always, was murkier. Did Efron have deeper motives? Was this a betrayal of friendship? Or was it simply a case of someone looking for attention at the expense of a celebrity's career? No one will likely ever know for sure, but the speculation would continue to haunt the story. Was this just a random act of revenge? Or was there something more sinister behind the accusations? The A$AP Rocky trial wasn't an isolated event. It was a chapter in a much larger story. In recent years, the hip-hop community has seen its fair share.
I really do love them, and I got emotional in my summation because I care about them. This is one of the happiest days of my life, and I'm happy for them because they've earned this and deserve it.
Share of legal battles. Meek Mill, Lil Wayne, and others have found themselves caught in the system, facing jail time for various offenses. But Rocky's case had its own unique twist. It wasn't just about the legal system, it was about how the public perceives these trials, how the media shapes the narrative, and how hip-hop artists navigate the ever-present danger of the law. What made this case so fascinating wasn't just Rocky's ability to clear his name, it was how it fit into the broader trend of hip-hop artists battling the law. Trials like these come with major consequences. Sometimes they lead to career-destroying outcomes, but sometimes, as in Rocky's case, they end with redemption. The public is watching, waiting to see how these high-profile trials play out. And in this case, A$AP Rocky had emerged victorious. But what does this all mean for the future of hip-hop? Does A$AP Rocky's victory signal the end of the legal battles that have long plagued the rap game? Or is this just the beginning of a new wave of courtroom drama that will continue to shape the industry?